And you talk about that Cincinnati Reds ball club.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, come on.
We got to talk about them.
We got to.
We haven't been on any of our things since the Reds have absolutely exploded. Probably the last time you saw us, we were talking about how we were dreading this season coming up. We wanted it to be over. We were expecting 100 losses. And here we are, tied for first, almost at the All-Star break.
4 games left. We got 4 games out in Washington, right? 4 games set in Washington, I
believe. I'm not for sure, though.
And if you'd have told me that on July 3rd, that the Cincinnati Reds would be 6 games above 500, tied for first in the NL Central, winning 16 of their last 20 games, you had told me that Ellie De La Cruz, Matt McClain, Spencer Steer, Will Benson, Andrew Abbott, even Alexis Diaz. You told me all these guys are up in the big leagues and playing well. I don't know if I would have believed you. I really don't know.
No, I wouldn't have believed you either. I would have called crazy. But it's so fun. I mean, that 12-game win streak, probably the most fun I've had as a Reds fan ever. Obviously, we had the playoffs a couple of years ago. That didn't go well.
Did not go well.
This feels different, though. This is a feeling that I've never personally felt as a Reds fan. And it's everybody. It's the whole team. It's a team effort, and all these rookies are hitting. And it's a testament to the Reds scouting, their front office, the deals they made, some of the guys they've drafted. It's really exciting, and there's more coming. So
yeah, this is the first wave
right,
of the farm right here. And this could arguably be the best wave of the farm.
Yeah.
But there's still some guys in the minors that are coming up that are going to produce and fill holes. I really think that the pitching staff obviously has been kind of the starting pitching staff has really been the downfall of the team thus far.
Which is a bit of a shocker. I don't think coming into the season you would have told me the pitching staff is what would be holding us back. Wouldn't have believed it. Obviously, there's some injuries there, but yeah.
I think that as well. I think the injuries suck. You're not going to get Hunter Green or Lodolo back until about August. Graham Ashcraft, who had a really good start against.
That was good to see.
Against
Padres.
I was thinking Baltimore, but a really good start against the Padres. Abbott's up. There's still a couple guys in the minors that could come up, and I mean. So you see Ashcraft play well. You see Green and Lodolo at his schedule being back in August. Promising. The bullpen, I would have never guessed the bullpen would have been this good. They're playing
absolutely
really good. Alexis Diaz.
You know what? I was calling the bullpen a bunch of plumbers and electricians. In fact, to start the season, outside of Alexis Diaz, they proved me wrong. I will eat those words. They have been tremendous.
I really wasn't even that high on Alexis Diaz coming into the year. I was kind of just like, I mean, he's a mid-level guy that we're hyping up. But, man, he has been arguably the best closer in baseball. So, I mean, those Cincinnati Reds, man, young guys. Another guy I want to talk about with the Reds is Tyler Stevenson and what he's been doing the last month.
Yeah.
You know, when you have this young core, Stevenson's still 26 years old.
Yeah,
27 years old, 26, 27. I mean, come on. When you have this young group of guys, you think, well, someone's got to get dealt. Jonathan India, maybe. Tyler Stevenson. Stevenson's been playing so well. He's been so clutch for the team since June 1st. He's got 5 home runs, 14 RBIs. I think he's hitting 283. I mean, he's really been playing well, and he hit the 2-run home run yesterday.
Yep. Pinch hit home run.
A pinch hit on the first pitch of the game, or first pitch he saw. Went deep, 2-run home run. And those are the clutch at-bats that Stevenson's been putting together for the last month, and I've really been enjoying watching Stevenson play baseball. I think his defense could get a little bit better behind the plate, but obviously, and he's been staying healthy. So
that's the key part of this all is he's hit well before. I mean, he was slumping a little bit to start this year, obviously turning it around this past month. It was staying healthy, though, was the key for him. And maybe this 3-catcher system, hopefully they can get away from the 3-catcher system to open up a roster spot for another one of these young guys. But right now it's working. It's keeping him healthy. It's keeping him in the lineup. And if he can start to hit well again like he has been, it'll help a lot, especially if Jonathan India can get out of his slump, too.
I agree. They got to move India out of the 3-hole, obviously. I think, a guy like Steer who's hitting in the 7-hole right now.
Right.
Do you move him up, or do you say, you know what?
I mean,
things are working in the 7-hole.
Very well right there in that spot. I'm very much a believer that, if it's not broke, don't fix it. If the guy's in a rhythm, keep him there. But you also kind of want to reward him. But I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is.
Maybe seeing the 6-hole guy in front of Votto or whoever's hitting 6 that day, seeing him in front of you makes you hit a little bit better.
Yeah,
maybe 7-hole is just feeling good for Steer right now. I don't know. But I know he's playing very good baseball right now.
So the question now becomes, are we confident enough to guarantee a Cincinnati Reds playoff spot this year?
They've got a 25% chance of making it right now.
Right.
I think Baseball Reference had us at like 26 to 27%. But I think, and this is what people keep telling me, is you got to trade for pitching. You got to trade for pitching. Do we?
I don't think so.
I mean, if you want to go and get a star, if you want to go and get a guy like Lucas Giolito, and it doesn't cost that much, it doesn't cost one of your big prospects, I'm all for it.
Right.
But if we got to give up one of our big prospects, if we got to give up Noel V. Marte, Christian Arroyo, Christian Encarnacion Strand, I didn't even want to mention him because he shouldn't ever get traded.
No.
If we got to give up one of those guys, then absolutely not, because we're a year or two ahead of schedule.
Right.
I've been having this conversation with a lot of people. The Cincinnati Reds are a year or two ahead of schedule as far as a rebuild goes. So I'm not in on blowing it up and trading these guys to try and win this year. Making the playoffs this year would be insane, especially with what we had on paper. But, right now I think making the playoffs is the goal, and it is the mindset, and it is the standard, but I don't want to blow up the core to make sure we do that this year.
I think obviously the question marks with the pitching. If they can withstand this little time period without their key starting pitchers who are out with injury, and guys can get back, they can get a full rotation back without having, Luke Weaver, Brandon Williamson, he has his days. But they can get a full rotation, a full healthy rotation, and their starting pitching is pitching well. I think they make the playoffs easily. But yes, I agree. I don't think they need to go crazy. If they make the playoffs this year, great. If they don't, next year, now we can start again.
A lot of money. We're paying one guy next year, and that's Hunter Green.
And, we can talk about a future Red here in a moment. We'll get to him. But yeah, don't blow it up or don't send a lot of prospects out. The question marks will be answered, I guess, with the starting pitching this year once we get everybody back.
I agree.
And then we can adjust accordingly next year. But I think the playoffs, it's
realistic.
reachable.
It's reachable. Realistic, especially in our division.
Yeah.